Text, Disability Law Center. Your housing rights. Your rights matter. This presentation is general information and is not legal advice. Only an attorney can give you legal advice to help with a specific problem or answer a specific question. The DLC has attorneys on staff, so if you would like questions answered about certain situations, give us a call.
The Disability Law Center is the protection and advocacy agency for the state of Utah. The DLC assists people with disabilities with a variety of issues. The DLC also has a fair housing program to address discrimination in housing, which is available to people who belong to all protected classes, not just people with disabilities.
Text, Nate Cripps, DLC staff attorney.
The housing program at the Disability Law Center does three things. Number one, we enforce fair housing laws for all protected classes. We investigate complaints, advocate for clients by meeting with housing providers, and file lawsuits and administrative complaints. The second thing we do is fair housing testing, which is much like a secret shopper, but with apartments and discrimination. The third thing we do is education and outreach. It's important for people to understand what the laws are and what rights they have.
A woman at a computer picks up a phone. Later, she greets another woman in a reception area.
When you call the DLC, the first thing you do is speak to our intake team. They'll gather some demographic information from you as well as details about the issue you are calling for. If your issue is one we can help with, you will be assigned to an attorney who will explain the relevant law to you and will outline your options to address the issue.
Text, Understanding the Fair Housing Act.
The Fair Housing Act was enacted in 1968. It was created to give everyone equal opportunity in housing and to use and enjoy their dwellings. It protects people belonging to protected classes from being treated differently in housing situations.
Text, What are protected classes?
The term protected class describes characteristics or factors of a group of people which cannot be targeted for harassment or discrimination.
A hand positions the words of the different classes on top of the numerals 1 through 7.
There are 7 federally recognized protected classes. These protected classes are race, color, national origin, religion, sex, familial status, and disability.
Hands rearrange the classes in a vertical row next to a 2-story house.
National origin relates to where somebody is from or where somebody's ancestry is from. If someone is denied housing because of their accent, it is most likely to fall under national origin discrimination. Familial status means that there are children under the age of 18 present in the household. This could mean 2 parents with kids, single parents with kids, expecting mothers, or families looking to foster or adopt children. States can also add additional protected classes. Here in Utah, we have 3 additional protected classes. The first is source of income, which has to do with where somebody's money is coming from that is going to help pay for their housing. Examples are Social Security, SSDI, and housing vouchers. Sexual orientation and gender identity are also protected here in Utah. What housing is covered under the Fair Housing Act?
Nate Cripps.
The Fair Housing Act covers most housing, from single-family homes and duplexes up to apartment complexes with hundreds of units. Housing or units sold or rented by any kind of broker or agent are always covered. However, there are some exemptions.
The exemptions include owner-occupied housing of 4 units or less. The exemption also includes single-family homes that are sold or rented without the use of any kind of broker or agent, and if the owner does not own more or 3 single-family homes. If you have questions about any possible exemptions, please contact us.
Even though these small types of landlords or owners are not covered by the Fair Housing Act, in most cases, it is still illegal for any landlord to make discriminatory statements or post discriminatory advertisements that indicate a limitation or preference based on a protected class. Places like homeless or domestic violence shelters, treatment facilities, senior housing, and other types of housing are also covered by the Fair Housing Act.
If you or someone you know has experienced housing discrimination or you would like more information about fair housing, you can contact the Disability Law Center by calling 1-800-662-9080, emailing us at fairhousing@disabilitylawcenter.org, or by visiting our website www.disabilitylawcenter.org.
Text Utah Relay number 711 at sorensonvrs.com.
You may also contact UALD by calling 801-530-6800 or the HUD Regional Office by calling 1-800-877-7353 to file a complaint on your own.
Text, HUD website, https://www.hud.gov/ Equal Housing Opportunity, Disability Law Center, Your Rights Matter. The work that provided the basis for this publication was supported, in part by funding under a grant awarded by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. The substance and findings of the work are dedicated to the public. The authors and publisher are solely responsible for the accuracy of the statements and interpretations contained in this publication. The Federal Fair Housing Act prohibits discrimination on the basis of race, color, sex, national origin, familial status, religion, or disability. Utah law also prohibits discrimination based on source of income in the rental, purchase, and sale of real property. The publication was funded in part by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the Center for Mental Health Services, the U.S. Department of Education, and the Social Security Administration. The contents of this publication are the sole responsibility of the authors and do not represent the official views of these agencies.